Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the December 6th, 2023 public board meeting of the Philadelphia Folksong Society. Since we are recording, my name is Miles Thompson and I'm the president, and we're going to make this meeting happen. I have an agenda I'm going to pull up. Give me a second. Here we go. All right, so the first thing is, if I had a gavel, I'd hit it. We're calling the meeting to order. First thing I want to do is somebody needs to do a motion, and we need to vote to approve the minutes from last month.
So moved.
Somebody second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good. Thank you. Excellent. So the minutes from last month have been approved. Thank you for everybody and Wendy for transcribing and getting that stuff up. Okay, a couple of president updates from me here. Some things for the board, for the public to know, our members to know. Our dear friend Jim Klingler has resigned from the board. And I would like to take a moment to publicly thank Jim for his years of dedication to the Philadelphia Folksong Society and to the festival. We will continue to seek his advice and wisdom. He is one of those guys I've used for years as a resource for how did we solve this problem years ago? And we will continue to do that. We love Jim and we thank him for all he's given to us. If you know Jim, please take a moment, if you'd like, not now, but at some point, to reach out and just say thank you for his years of service. He's been involved in the operation of this longer than many people. And so thanks are in order. All right, the big question on everybody's mind right now is that the festival leadership team decisions, the director of the festival, etc., we're in the final process of that, which is that we're 99.9% complete, and an announcement should be made this week. Things are just not quite ready to announce yet. The dough is not done rising, etc. But we are going to make an announcement within a week. I'm not holding to this week, because this week sometimes in people's minds is tomorrow. It might be a couple of days after that. So there's that. And we do plan to put festival tickets on sale in December. We're revising the ticketing cost structure to make it simple to use and to track. We're still doing that because that's been a complicated mess, because over the years, every time we added a new ticket structure, we never took away an old one, and it's a mess. Also, due to time constraints, because there's only so much we can all do, I've said this is almost word for word from last month. The removal of archives from Iron Mountain and the emptying of the storage unit at A.D. Moyer, which is now in Gilbertsville, is going to happen after the holidays. If you remember last month, I said it would happen in November. It didn't. So anyway, here we are. I want to see, is George present? George, this is...
Yep, I'm here.
Cool, thank you. I hadn't seen you earlier. This is a little out of our usual order, but it's sort of the next big order of business. Would you speak to the election situation and governance issues, please?
Sure. With Jim resigning from the board, it leaves us with 7 directors. We need at least 5 per the bylaws, so we're still okay. Okay. In the election, we have 3 people on the board of directors up for actual election here. That was announced previously, so we're in good shape there. And I'm looking for my notes. All right, with our December board meeting being early in December, it's not enough time for the election information to have been distributed properly. So the election for the PFS board will be the first meeting of the new year. I believe that would be the 24th, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. The governance team is putting together the information for the 3 individuals, bio information, and so forth, so we can email that, get that out to the membership specific about the election. The board and 6 need to caucus together as to what is the best platform, election voting platform. A few options have been provided. So I suggest that we have a working meeting to decide which one is going to be best. Is that okay, Miles?
That's perfect. Thank you. Appreciate that. And so
Okay,
information.
that's it for the election information. As far as the governance committee, they have been working also on a confidentiality agreement, trying to get that tightened up for the new year. We have a conflict of interest form, which we want everybody on the board of directors in January to review to ensure that they understand what it means, and if they have any issues to bring them up.
Good. Thank you. Would you just, I probably missed it because I was looking at something. Can you just state again what the procedure will be for other people besides the 3 on the board slate to apply to run for the board?
That's already been done, and nobody did come through.
Okay. Thank you.
We had a few people mention earlier that they were interested, but they, after we sent out the request for information, that was it.
Okay. So again, if people are interested, they could reach out to directors at PFS, and we can send information over.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Good. Thank you. Thanks, George. Appreciate it. Eric Ring, tax issues. Where are we sitting with things, my friend?
I'm not sure if Wendy had her hand up.
Oh, it's Wendy. Did you have your hand up? I didn't see it.
It was me. I did. I had a real quick question for George.
Okay.
What would be the deadline for anybody wanting to apply to be on the board besides the 3 incumbents? What would be the deadline for them to get you information, George? You're muted, George.
I'm sorry. It's already passed, but since we pushed the election off into January, I would say my cell phone is getting a new revision. 40. How about next week?
Fair enough. Okay, by the end of next week, end of regular week business, Friday. Cool. Thanks. All right. Thank you. Rob, you made it. Good. Rob had a computer problem, and there's nothing quite like, it's kind of like having a car problem. So Eric Ring, how are we doing with our tax situation? I think I sent you a bunch of documents the other morning. I don't know if it make or break anything.
Yeah, some of the old stuff is just going to take a long time to resolve. We have requests in for abatement of penalties. We're up to date on our filing, and actually, as of November 15th, it was the first time in 3 years that we actually filed everything on time, with extension, but on time. So there are no penalties for the 2022 taxes. We filed with the Commonwealth for the BCO. We filed the BCO 10. And we were granted our solicitation license.
Right.
So we're all up to date, and everything with the Commonwealth is good. So the only thing that's outstanding are the older tax returns, which had been filed late, and we're still working on abating those. And
right. Well,
that's it.
A big thank you to Eric Ring and our treasurer, Eric Robbins, and everyone on the board for actually, for the first time in a long damn time, have we gotten everything into to the state and the feds on time so that we won't be incurring any additional late fees. Thank you. All right. Eric Robbins, do you want to speak about finances?
Sure. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Are you on?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so here's the treasurer's report for November. So the highlights, as you can see, we had $3,754 of net income, which is also captioned as a decrease in net deficit for us. and it brings our net deficit down to 121,377. And for the first time, we put a dent into our line of credit, a little dent at least. We paid $5,200, $10 of line of credit principal. So previously, we were maxed out at 100,000, and we were just paying the monthly interest. Though we were paying tiny, tiny bits of principal each month because Miles would just round the payment up. But this was our first significant payment of principal. So I know I'm thrilled about it, and hopefully we can continue to make payments such as that. So looking at the income statement for the month, we had revenue of $9,500, primarily donations. We do get drips and drabs of some dues. There's some people that pay monthly. We get amounts each month, and then, you know, some new ones, but mostly donations that we've been getting. So thank you all. We did have a write-off of an outstanding bill that I guess didn't need to be paid. And when we write that off, that just becomes income to us. So total revenue of 10,000. We paid 6,300 of operating expenses, and we didn't have any expenses to accrue because we are up to date and paying all our expenses timely. 6,300 is pretty large for us. A typical month of expenses is usually around $4,000 of operating expenses right now. But we had a quarterly bill for our archive that we pay $2,730 quarterly, and that fell into this month, into this time period. So we had a net income or decrease in our net deficit of 3754. It was 125 and change coming into the month, coming out of last meeting, and now it's 121,377. We'll take a look at the balance sheet, which shows us what breaks up that or makes up that net deficit. So you can see we have cash in our accounts totaling 51,500 between TD and S&T, and then we have overall liabilities of 172, close to 173,000. So that's our net deficit of 121. But 53% of that net deficit are IRS penalties. So we're hoping we don't have to pay them, at least don't have to pay them in full. Maybe we'll have an offer and compromise and settle at a much lesser amount. But we've pretty much cleared off the majority of payables that we had coming into this year, you know, with the settlements that we've had with some of the outstanding stuff from last fest. The only thing that's really outstanding from last fest at this point is the Upper Salford Township, which we are on the payment plan and paying $500 a month. So that's going to remain until we pay it off in June. They don't charge us any interest, so we're happy to pay it off slowly. But everything else is pretty current. If we can get out of these IRS penalties, our net deficit would really be halved. It would be only $60,000. So definitely moving in the right direction. And we also, the 5,200 we have accrued for the CPA compilation for 2020. I know that seems like it would be an old bill, but they did the compilation just earlier this year. And they kind of price gouged us and billed us all this extra money. So we're trying to settle that as well. So hopefully we don't pay anywhere near 5,200 right now. We're trying to just offer them 1,000. So we're in pretty good shape. We're moving in the right direction. If we can get some of these, like I said, penalties off the books and settle with the CPA, then we're going to really turn the corner here and get where we need to be. And then the last part of the financial statement is the cash flow statement. And that's just where it reconciles what our bottom line is back to change in cash. So we had a positive bottom line of 3754. But included in that is the revenue recognized from the write-off of the TP trailer bill. That's didn't provide us any cash, so we subtract that out. We did pay old bills that were previously accrued. There's the 500 that which you're going to see monthly for the Upper Salford, and then some of the other bills that we paid. We paid the CPA for the 22 compilation. The amount we owe is the old CPA for the 2020, and we pay line of credit interest each month. So we made payments, and we still were able to generate a little bit of cash, $794 from operations, but then we made that big payment of $5,200 on the line of credit. So overall, our cash decreased by $4,400, but it included the pay down on the line of credit. You know, getting back to the balance sheet, you know, we have 51,000 in cash. It's generally, you know, good for not-for-profits to have about 6 months of, you know, operating net needs in their cash account. We're about 4,000 a month we're spending. So, you know, we have more cash than we need. I would be willing to pay more on the line of credit, but I'm a little concerned, you know, as I've been around for a few months now, things tend to pop up here and there that we didn't know about. And we still don't know if we're going to have to do an offer and compromise with the IRS and, you know, give them 15,000 to walk away from this 65. So we're moving in the right direction, though.
Thank you, Eric. This is very heartening. I really appreciate it. Cool. Give me a second here, gang. Rob, let's hit the development report.
Thank you, Miles. So first of all, as Eric says, we're moving in the right direction. And part of that, of course, is the good work that the Erics have done and the rest of the board has done with the expenses and with the taxes. But a big part of it has been the result of the members from the membership that has been paid, that helped us get out of a huge hole of over $200,000. And now we are at about, as you mentioned, depending on how you look at it, 120,000 or 60,000 away. But we have to get out of that debt. And that line of credit has to be made to go down. So I've been talking for the last few months about plans. Well, the plans are now coming to fruition. They're beginning to happen. And the diversified strategy is already paying off a bit. Again, thanks to a number of you. We have started, of course, integral PFS volunteers, Folksong Society volunteers is Erin, who actually helped behind the scenes, making a lot of that come to life. My goal was to be at 5,000 by the time of this meeting. We're at 4,938, which another less than $100 will be 10% to where we want to be by Fest. But we can't rely just on members. And what we're doing now is we are focused on going to the companies, the businesses, small businesses, as well as large corporations, and looking at getting various types of sponsorships. That's the only way that we'll break this cycle of constantly getting back into debt. We have some prospects. I want to thank Joe Henderson, another volunteer who's working with me, and the whole RD committee is now coming together. That we're hoping to get our first prospect to be either an official sponsor or possibly even a premier sponsor. We should know in another week or two. Anyone who's interested in the ad sponsorship form, just go to PFS, go to directors at pfs.org, and I'll get it to you because we want to make sure that we all have the same information. It's really important. I have some very exciting news now. Besides the individual donors and the sponsorships, we're going to have an event. We have now officially gotten approval from the family of Gene Shea for the first annual Gene Shea Lifetime Awards. Some of you on this very call may certainly be somebody worthy of that award, but we are only picking 3 this year. And those 3 do not yet know who they are. They will be informed in the next week or two. And we know that you know and love these people. And again, if you're not one of the first 3, please don't be insulted. We could only really have a certain amount the first year, but we hope that you'll be around for following years in the future. We're going to have a concert at this event, and the performers that we're going for have been shared with the RD committee, but they have not yet accepted. I can tell you that they are well known in the Folk Fest world and well loved. And we hope that you'll be coming out in March to have this concert, because this will be the main way I think that we will get over the hump and enter the festival with a full line of credit, because we don't want to just use tickets for that. We want the cost of the festival to be covered by the sponsorships and not by this event, which will help really get rid of the line of credit so we can break this cycle once and for all. All right, and I guess we'll have questions later on. I'm sure you have lots of questions. So Miles, you're still muted, but I think I've done talking. Sorry I didn't have a visual, but we do again have a lot of people to thank here for making us in this position that we can now move forward.
Thanks, Rob. And as I was saying to my muted computer, thank you, and I really appreciate all your hard work. And I appreciate the hard work of your various committee members that have indeed done a lot for us. And I'm very excited about this. Moving forward, we are looking at, since it's Rob, the update on the Musicians Artist Cooperative.
So we've had now 2 concerts at the annex of the Keswick Theater. Again, thanks so much to Judith, who runs that beautiful nonprofit. And we've had a performance by Megan Carey and now one by Jefferson Barry. And that's one of a number of different benefits that we are able to have our members take part in for free. So there will be more in January. We will be having a larger amount of people in the MAC, formerly the co-op, but for now it'll just be those that were in the co-op, and we will not be taking new performers until we are fully organized in that area. But you will be beginning to see performances more regularly in the coming year. And beyond that, that is where we are with the co-op. Oh, one other thing, we will have performances beyond the Keswick as well. Those will not necessarily be free member concerts, though. They'll have membership discounts, and that will be all the money will go to the co-op artists or to the venue. None of it will go to PFS. So that will be a way in which we are providing.
Let's clarify that language, because MAC is not separate from PFS. It is a separate budget line.
Absolutely.
It is all going into the PFS account. You don't have your own bank account.
Exactly.
It is, however, being held there with the expectation it's being used for MAC purposes.
I want to clarify that and further emphasize the membership fees for MAC are part of PFS. The events that will be happening outside the member events will be a separate thing in which we will be able to figure out those finances. But what Miles is saying is absolutely correct. The membership fees go towards the services that we provide from MAC, and all of that is a PFS organizational program.
It just, as I've said before to the board, and you and I've talked a lot about, Rob, that we don't want the presumption out there in people's heads that somehow there's like a whole different organization, that MAC is a different organization. It doesn't even have its own bank account. I mean, it's all PFS at the moment. We just are not wealthy enough to have subgroupings like that. So
correct. Yeah. And to re-emphasize what Miles is saying, we're providing a service to the MAC artists, which will include a number of different features, and they're providing a service to membership by being the performers every month. But they're basically part of the PFS services that we're providing. I think that's clear at this point.
Good, thank you.
So with that said, enough about MAC. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. Kimberly, do you want to do communications update?
Sure.
Yes, thank you, Miles, and thanks, Rob. Thanks everybody on the board, by the way. Everybody's been working so hard. Wanted to give a shout out and a big thank you to Aaron Goers, and I know I'm saying your name wrong, Aaron, I apologize, for all the help with Giving Tuesday. To R.S. Wallace, who created all the graphics. That was a really fun campaign, so very appreciative of everyone who gave. We are having communications meetings. We're starting again every Thursday, starting this week. I'll send out the full schedule to everybody on the comms team, who are amazing. An update on the graphics for the 2024 festival. Kara Yarling has donated that graphic to us, and we're doing one couple of tweaks or two, and then we'll have it ready to share, and hoping that we can share it along with the ticket announcement, which we're all working on behind the scenes. Hopefully we'll be able to share some acts along with the tickets. We shall see. Good news for everybody. I actually found the PFS Spotify account. We actually have our own account. I found it. So I'll be able to switch that over, and we will be able to use that in more fun ways. Another update, which is, yay, everybody. This is a big one. We defeated Comcast. I don't know if it was the people that called Comcast or the little code that Rich Gobstein put, but apparently our emails are now getting through. So score one for the good guys. As far as upcoming shows about the Ardmore, Doug Hirth can speak more to that. He's on the line, but I know he's speaking with Judith about going forward with that. Speaking,
You say Ardmore, or do you mean Keswick?
what did I say?
You said Ardmore.
I meant Keswick. My apologies. It's one of those days, y'all. I don't know up from down today. So yeah, Keswick, sorry, and Judith. And Doug can speak about that because clearly I don't know much about it except what I send out to people. And speaking of more member benefits, I want to congratulate our winners to the Lisa LeBlanc contest, which is James Marquise, I believe is how you say James's name. I know he's here tonight. And Carol Henning Francis. Carol, I'm not even going to do that. I can't even say your last name. I'm bad with that. But anyway, they won. So they're going to Lisa LeBlanc tomorrow night. If you want to enter to win a pair of tickets to either the upcoming David Wax Museum or the Weight Band, the form is on our page. Fill that out. And all PFS members get 10% discount through our partnership with Rising Sun. So we got to give a big shout out to Rising Sun Presents for making these opportunities happen. Other opportunities that I've just started working on are possibly, or people that we might have promotional partnerships, rather, I should say. I sent a note out today. The Alliance Française in Philly is having a Quebecois singer-songwriter come down. He's nominated for a Canadian Folk Music Award. Just wanted to make everyone aware that he will be in town on January 11th, and also been talking with the Firebird Festival, who's happening soon. If they haven't happened, maybe it's this weekend. Yeah, and then I met with Mara about MAC, the Music Arts Cooperative, about what will be needed on the website, input forms, and just those back-end process details. And so that's starting to happen. An update, the folkfest.org is in the process with my team IT, who I need to get back to, moving, and we're developing that. Sam Bolenball is not going to go forward with his contract, so we're just going to transition it all over to one server, one website to rule them all that good stuff. And one last thing, shout out to Miles, who was able to update our Folk Alliance International membership along with some help from a member. Oh, thank you, Annie. Firebird Fest is December 9th, which I heard is, sorry?
That's Sunday.
Oh, so it's Sunday. So y'all go. I heard it's like Philly Folk meets Burning Man.
Well, is this the one in Phoenixville?
Yes.
Yes, where they do a giant wooden structure shaped like the phoenix, and they like a bird, and they light it on fire, and it's great.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the
So
one.
yeah, so these folks were getting in touch with each other. It's Saturday, Dave says, not Sunday. So anyway, y'all look up the Fire Festival, because again, clearly we don't know what we're talking about, except that it's this weekend. But these are the type of outreach that's coming into our inbox, outreach that we're doing, looking for local partners. And really, when I say presenting partners, or promotional partners, rather, promotional partners are people that we can share our audience with. So it will be reciprocal when it's time for the festival and we come out with our tickets and stuff. I'm hoping that the Firebird, our friends at Firebird, will share it with their audience as well. So those are the type of things that we're talking about. So thank you all. That's all I have for now.
Thanks, Kimberly. There was a link to the Firebird Fest in TuneUp. Okay, thank you, Annie Stevenson, for getting that out for us. I appreciate that. While we've got Kimberly talking, let's talk about membership, which is sort of Kimberly and Rob kind of handling that.
Rob, you want to go?
I just
You're
have
muted.
the latest numbers. We're hovering around 1,100 still, a little under 1,100. And the exact numbers I just lost in my email, but I can tell you in 1 second. Let's see. Is that the email? No, it's a different one. Anyhow, we're basically at about 1058, if I recall. And if you see that we're going slightly down, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're really going down, because some people re-up their membership, and that's why the numbers are a little bit off right now. If you recall, some people had memberships that they created a new membership before it expired. So we're in the same basic range. That's the main thing. We're around 1,000.
Cool.
And for all members that while the membership, and that's on me, the site of the website, that's taken much longer than I expected. So if anyone would like any information as a member that you're entitled to, please just email directors@pfs.org and we will get back to you while we work on that site.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
1,056 to be exact.
Cool. Thank you. All right, board, are there any specific, before we move to Q&A, board members, are there any things you need to update about or ask questions about? If there are hands up, I don't see everybody because the way it's tracked in my... Okay, cool. Thank you, board members. All right, at this point, we're going to open things up in a Q&A. What I'd like you to do is to raise your little hand in your little box, as Saul has done, and we'll do our best to answer the questions in the right order. If I get your order a little wrong, forgive me. It's been that kind of day. Saul, go ahead, my friend.
Hi, I think this is for Kimberly. I know you're working on the. I know your website's still a work in progress. I think you've already addressed most of my concerns about the website. I know there's a little thing in the corner that says log in. I guess I don't suppose it's for membership because it's not working on my passwords yet. But one thing I'm curious about is it has membership but the graphic used to have up for the what comes with each level of membership has disappeared. And my current membership doesn't expire until February, but I'm hoping that you'll have that back up before then, so I'll know what I'm paying for.
Yes, Saul, absolutely. And the reason we took that down was because it was a PDF and we didn't have the original to edit, and some of those benefits were no longer valid. So that's why we put it down. In fact, I have a draft from Rob in my inbox, thank you for reminding me, of the new levels. So I will put that back at the top of our agenda and get that sorted and back up on the website. Thank you for the reminder and the question, Saul.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Saul. Mara, go ahead.
Just a reminder that the open mic, the Zoom open mic, it takes place December 20th at 7 o'clock. And we've been posting, we have an event, we post about it. We'll be posting in the official pages. We have an email list that we've accumulated that we sent out to, and we'll try to make sure anyone who wants to get in can get in on that. And also, I really appreciate the time Kimberly took to talk to me, and hopefully we'll be scheduling another meeting. Rob gave me some suggestions, and we'll be looking at scheduling another meeting very soon to work on that. So thank you again, Kimberly.
Is that it, Mara?
That's it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Tom Mick, go ahead.
Hey, Miles, Tom McGee. You've mentioned both last month and this month a storage unit at AD Moyer. What is in that?
Damned if I know. I actually do not know. It is mostly stuff that was kept. I was told it's a large number of things out of perhaps some of the merchandise, so like some of the shelving units and stuff like that.
Yes. There is a merch storage unit at AD Moyer that contains a significant amount of the infrastructure that we use in the merch, both the camp store and the main tent store for Fest. It is jam-packed solid.
Okay.
I suggest before you plan on emptying it that you talk to Trina and make plans as to where it will go and how it will get to Fest in August.
Right. That is always the concern. We'd be moving stuff a little farther away. The idea was to move it to our space in Glenside, but it is farther away to get it back. So that is a concern. But thank you.
Space you have in Glenside, but that thing is jam-packed full.
Okay.
So I suggest you talk to Trina, my daughter Trina, who's the chair of merch,
Right.
and kind of work out what you're going to do with that.
Cool. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Sorry to butt in, but Tom, is that Ricky or Lucy?
Yes, it actually, George, if you recall, after Fest, we had 2 units, one from the general store and one from the main tent that both went out to AD Moyer. And the bulk of the remaining merch was in our unit, as well as the shelving and all of our other infrastructure stuff. We went up some time ago, and we basically pulled everything out. We took all the merch out, sent it back to the office, and combined everything into one unit. So everything,
Okay, so that's one full unit.
one full unit contains pretty basically all of the infrastructure stuff for both the campsite general store and for the main tent store.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to know the volume. Thank you.
Yeah, it is jam-packed full. We were actually throwing stuff away and actually sent some things home with people for storage because it wouldn't all fit into that unit.
Tom, I have a logistics question. Who has the key for that storage space? Or is it a combo lock?
It is a combo lock, and Trina will have it, and I could probably find it.
All right, because what's occurring to me is maybe somebody ought to take one of our board members that is maybe a little closer to it's now up in Gilbertsville. They AD Moyer moved their stuff. Is that we may have to do an eyeball or a measurement on that to just see how much stuff there is.
Yeah, I would be willing to meet somebody there, and we can take a look at it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for the information.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Jefferson, let me hear from you, my friend.
Hello, comrades.
Hello.
Thank you for the hard work you guys are all doing. Appreciate it. I was interested in finding out where things are at with your search for an director of the fest.
It was the first item on the and you're a retired school teacher, so I get to say to you what you've said for years. Well, you came in late, so you missed the announcement. But we are 99% finished with that operation. We will be sending out an announcement within the next week. We just have to hammer out a few details.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Thanks, bud. Anything else? Okay. Saul, again, quick, please. Still muted.
Just quick to confirm about what Tom was saying. If that's the same storage unit that we unpack on the Saturday before Fest, I can confirm that thing has a lot of merch stuff, and it is definitely packed.
Okay. We may need to do a reconnaissance trip from somebody. Thank you.
Yeah. Right.
Cool. Dave Axler, how you doing, bud?
Hey, quick question. While we haven't hired our festival director yet, what are we doing in terms of budget planning to pay the new hire's salary? How will that affect our monthly finances?
This piece went a little blurred over when Rob was speaking about fundraising. That the plan, the ultimate plan, is that we will be raising expenses like that through sponsorships, outside sponsorships, which we have never really done in any significant number in the past. So that's where that money is coming from. And there's a little bit of money in the bank right now, but we're trying not to do what we've always done what we've done in the past several years, which is simply rely on only ticket sales, because that's just not going to work.
Right. But we do plan on putting tickets on sale this month.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to have fest revenues coming in the door this month to match up with some of the spending we're going to have to do.
So yeah, Dave, it's a little like there's a rabbit in a hat, we just can't see it. So it makes me a little nervous, but that's the case. Tom McGee, are you asking something else again, or is that a leftover hand?
Yeah, sorry, Miles, just briefly. Tickets on sale in December. What about volunteer tickets and pricing and that sort of thing?
We are still working on hammering out the changes to the ticketing structure. As I mentioned in the beginning, we have we have layer upon layer of old structures, and we're trying to make it simple and make it effective and make it user friendly and all sorts of other stuff, so that people that are new to us can come in and look at this and go, oh, that's easy. So
So do
quick,
you anticipate having volunteer pricing in the December announcement?
I anticipate that, yes.
Great, thank you.
Thanks. Okay. I'm impressed that that we might actually finish this thing in a reasonable time, because we as the board are all losing our minds. We're exhausted and stupid and dropping stuff. Board members, is there anything else you may want to add to this discussion?
Miles, I volunteered to go up with Tom McGee, okay?
Excellent. I thought you're kind of, I don't know if you're closer, but you're closer than this side of the world. So yeah, cool. I might send you up. I will send you up. Thanks, George.
He's closer to me anyway.
Yeah, there you go. You guys could have fun. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that might be it. We might be coming down in under an hour, which would be absolutely amazing. Thanks to Steve Ram, real fast. I almost got out of here. Keep it short, Steve. Go ahead, bud.
Sorry, need to unmute me. First of all, this is the last time we're going to see each other this year. So I want to wish everybody a happy holiday, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever it is. Happy and healthy New Year to everybody. And I'll leave you with one question, which I hope is not too off base here. The manager, when you announce that person,
It's a director.
Sorry, who will be doing the budget? The director that will be doing the budget, or the finance committee is doing?
The director will be working. The festival management team will include our treasurer and some financial committee members and the director position.
Who will then set the prices and the
and all of that gets approved by the board. Here's the piece that's different, gang. Unlike previous years for the past 10 or more, the board is going to be actively involved in making sure the festival is happening and is on the ground, and the festival is working, and oversight of the festival, especially expenses. So yeah, this is different than in the past. But yes, so Eric Robbins, our treasurer, is going to be pretty much in charge of that stuff with the people that are helping him, Steve.
Okay, and I'll use my 30 seconds. I see Sal's question up there. I'm curious, when's the January meeting? Is that going to be?
I am looking, and I think it is the 24th. I have the 24th in my calendar. I think I actually pulled that from some existing document. So January 24th, 7 p.m. Wednesday in January 24th, 2024.
Okay, that's it for me. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody. All right, my friends, thank you very much. I'd like to have somebody pass a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Somebody else second it?
Wendy. Oh, okay.
It's been all in favor. All right, we are. Thank you. Yeah, Kimberly, is that a question?
No, that was an enthusiastic aye.
Okay.
Made a point in chat. It's a voting meeting. Oh, but call for the vote to adjourn the meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we have to call for the. I thought I did that. I thought I called for the vote. The only person who raised her hand was Kimberly. So let's have the vote to adjourn the meeting. Directors.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Okay. And George, just one more time. Steve Ram has asked this question. When is the election?
January 24th.
Thank you. Okay. My friends, the meeting is over.